Since Avatar: The Last Airbender has made its way onto Netflix, many people are watching it for the first time and can finally see that it is one of, if not the best animated shows, or just shows for that matter. The Last Airbender has been around for 15 years, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about my favorite story arcs or maybe something new that I noticed. This show was one of the ones that has always stuck with me through the years, and I just want to share what I find so special about it. However, since the show is flowing with so many good ideas, I'll just have to pick one that I feel goes pretty unnoticed or just not talked about enough, and that's Zuko's heritage. Now, when I say heritage, I don't mean his father, since that one's pretty obvious, nor his grandfather. I'm talking about his great-grandfather, and not Sozin. I'm talking about his other great-grandfather, Avatar Roku, and don't do the math and say that he should be his great-great-grandfather, because it's just confusing and it doesn't add or take anything away from the fact. But anyway. In Season 3 of the show, Episode 6 is titled The Avatar and the Fire Lord. At the very end of the episode, Zuko is told by Iroh that Zuko's great-grandfather on his mother's side is in fact Avatar Roku. But before I talk about why this is so important, you have to know some backstory first. Spoiler alert, I know this show is 15 years old, but there's still a lot of people that haven't watched it. But yeah, spoiler alert. At the very start of the first episode in Season 1, when we're introduced to Prince Zuko, we see that he is going to be the main antagonist of the show. We learn that his father banished him from their country and burned the left side of his face, so all of Season 1, Zuko is trying to catch the Avatar so that his father will accept him back. Season 2, Zuko is trying to figure out what he really wants and where he really belongs in this war. So at the beginning of Season 3, Zuko returns home a war hero to his welcoming father. However, Zuko is confused as to why he doesn't feel like he has truly returned home with his honor. In the episode prior to Episode 6, The Beach, Zuko, Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee all go to Ember Island. And at the end, Zuko tells us why he's so angry all the time.
Calm down, you guys. This much negative energy is bad for your skin. You'll totally break out.
Bad skin? Normal teenagers worry about bad skin. I don't have that luxury. My father decided to teach me a permanent lesson on my face.
Sorry, Zuko.
For so long, I thought that if my dad accepted me, I'd be happy. I'm back home now. My dad talks to me. He even thinks I'm a hero. Everything should be perfect, right? I should be happy now, but I'm not. I'm angrier than ever, and I don't know why.
There's a simple question you need to answer then. Who are you angry at?
No one. I'm just angry.
Yeah. Who are you angry at, Zuko?
Everyone. I don't know.
Is it Dad?
No.
Your uncle?
Me?
No.
Then who? Who are you angry at?
Answer the question, Zuko.
Talk to us.
Come on, answer the question.
Come on, answer it.
I'm angry at myself.
Why?
Because I'm confused. Because I'm not sure I know the difference between right and wrong anymore.
Do they have bathrooms in the spirit world?
As a matter of fact, they do not.
What is it? Will you go penguin sledding with me?
So now that you know how Zuko is feeling going into this episode, you'll be able to understand why this twist works so well now. Okay, so Episode 6, The Avatar and the Fire Lord, isn't the most notable episode in the series, but it gives us one of the best character moments in the series, at least for me personally. We follow Zuko as he receives a letter telling him to learn of his great-grandfather's demise, to learn about his own destiny. Simultaneously, Aang is in the spirit world with Roku. Roku shows Aang his past with Fire Lord Sozin. Avatar Roku and Fire Lord Sozin were once best friends before either of them became who they would eventually turn out to be. Roku becomes the Avatar and Sozin becomes Fire Lord. Later, Sozin goes to Roku about starting a revolution, but Roku understands that what Sozin really means is to take over the world. Roku spares Sozin and they live on. Later in his life, Roku is at home when a volcano erupts and it forces him to stay behind while the island evacuates. Sozin sees this and he comes to help his old friend out. It becomes too much for them and they try to escape. Roku has a hard time, however, and in his moment of weakness, Sozin leaves him to die on the island. And as we reach the conclusion of the episode, Rosen dies and Sozin goes on to start the war. Aang learns that Roku's and Sozin's history shows that anyone is capable of redemption.
Then what was the point?
Roku was just as much Fire Nation as Sozin was, right? If anything, their story proves anyone's capable of great good and great evil. Everyone, even the Fire Lord and the Fire Nation, have to be treated like they're worth giving a chance.
It's a nice lesson and will go on to persuade Aang's decisions when the time came for him to defeat Fire Lord Ozai. Meanwhile, Zuko says that people already know all this information, so he goes to his uncle in his prison assuming that he sent the note, and Iroh tells him that it was not about his great-grandfather on his father's side, but his great-grandfather on his mother's side, Avatar Roku, and Iroh tells Zuko that that's why there's such great conflict within him.
Evil and good are always at war inside you, Zuko. It is your nature, your legacy. But there is a bright side. What happened generations ago can be resolved now by you. Because of your legacy, you alone can cleanse the sins of our family and the Fire Nation. Born in you, along with all the strife, is the power to restore balance to the world.
Is that a blubbering blob monster?
No, it's Suki.
Twists in movies or shows are often remembered by their shock value or simply if they were good or not, and they can cause fans to divide in some cases. I personally love the twist that Roku was Zuko's great-grandfather. It comes naturally in the story right at Zuko's tipping point to allow him to finally realize that there is a reason why he isn't happy being Prince of the Fire Nation. It's a perfect example on how to do a twist right in my opinion. It isn't added for shock value to keep the audience interested, nor does it have the intention to further the plot first, in the sense that it doesn't add anything to the character. Twists in movies or shows should be character oriented and not the other way around. The payoff feels much more earned and it makes much more sense. If Zuko just turned on his father on the day of Black Sun, it would still work since the work had been put in over the course of the whole show at that point. But since they added that Zuko and Roku are related, it just adds to why Zuko wants to restore honor, not just to himself, but to the Fire Nation as a whole. Hey everybody, if you made it all the way through the video, I really appreciate it. Kind of going off the top of my head here because I didn't write anything down, but as you're pretty much well aware, if you live in the United States, hell, even across the world in some parts, some protests have been going on, which all pretty much originated from the murder of George Floyd. And it's a really, really sad and tragic thing that happened. And I just wanted to say that I'm going to be putting a link in the description for a petition or something to go donate to. I haven't fully decided yet, but yeah, that'll be down there. And I just wanted to say that if you are going out and in these protests, just remember to be safe. And yeah, thanks for listening to that. And links are in the description if you want to go support that in any way, shape, or form. That's really huge and greatly appreciated. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video.